Hike your own hike, nomad your own nomad. Experiment with the options of this unique lifestyle so you know it works for you, and get out there and do it. So I drove halfway across the country to help my son learn how to take this to something more livable. And I am mooch docking in a driveway and recharging my solar lights on a porch and my Jackery inside. It's a switch up that's a little weird to get used to. Walkability is not great where I am. These are the scores that I'm used to, and where I am right now, they're not that great. Today it's 87 degrees, couldn't find a park with shade, so I had to settle on this corner spot behind a strip mall. I have been hitting Planet Fitness for a place to work out as well as to shower. And while I am underwhelmed by the isolation in the burbs and my perception of lack of imagination, there is a lot of art around to experience. Like this neighborhood that was recently transitioned to roundabouts, and art that was created in part by grade school kids. In Michigan, you can go from a level of affluence for a community library like this, complete with perfectly stacked rows of DVDs, coffee, group sets of books, and puzzles, for God's sake. And then contrast that with going downtown and visiting the Museum of African American History. I prefer the grit and the energy and the animation in the city. And while I've known about this cultural treasure for a very long time, I'm embarrassed to say I've never gone until now. It's gorgeous inside, and I was lucky enough to be attending with Friday field trip folks. Here's the powerhouse behind the founding of the museum, Dr. Charles Wright. And the place is full of history, art, presence, community, and a perspective that isn't often representative in mainstream culture, of course. Between tagging along with one of those school groups to hear the fabulous docent who took them from display to display and really drove home some concepts in ways that they could understand, I was just blown away by this experience. It's difficult to leave here not being changed by what you see that other humans experienced on this planet during the time of enslavement. There's art outside as well. This installation was beautiful to look at. And I wasn't quite ready to go back, so I just started wandering around. I found a sculpture garden and a place called the Scarab Club. It's been a hotspot for the arts since the early 20th century, and they just happened to have a photography exhibition, so I went inside. It's a beautiful structure, pretty much intact from over 100 years ago. Original wood and lighting, and there really are autographs of very famous artists up on the wall, on the ceiling. I got to meet Christopher Jean, the second prize winner, who works in the building. By then I was getting hungry, and I had a vague memory of a place that I'd eaten about 15, 18 years prior, And I found it, Small World Kitchen Cafe, down in the basement of the Creative Arts Building or something like that. Diverse menu from cultures around the world. Lovely things to look at while you're waiting for your food to be prepared. And it was amazing. Back up in the burbs, I also revisited some places that I missed. This is a huge Italian market. Anything you want is available, even cigars. On a day that was overcast, I found this park by going back behind so I didn't have to pay to get in. Not quite sure what was going on here. Nice little path to walk on to round out a wonderful day. I stumbled upon a non-holiday specific community fundraising fair and had a good time watching people have a great time. What I've learned as a nomad: 1, bugs love me, and this bug suit is the only thing that protects me from them. One of the components in my water filtration system broke, and that system is no longer available, so I've been experimenting with a couple others, and I'm really happy with the survival filter, which takes out the chloramine bleachy taste in municipal treated water, which I don't care to partake of. If you're already familiar with Michigan lefts, you can forward the video about a minute. If you're not, this might be helpful. I remember the first time I encountered how to make a left at an intersection where that wasn't possible. You need to go forward in the intersection and take a left above the intersection. Wait at the light until you can go. Then make a left and go back to the intersection where you originally wanted to take the left and take a right. That's a Michigan left. This is a reminder for all of you caregivers out there, whatever your situation might be, to take care of yourself so you can give. I spent some time recently seeing the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, I believe is the name. And there was a quote in there I want to share. It surprised me that it was in a mainstream Hollywood movie, but there you go. The only thing I do know is that we have to be kind. Please be kind, especially when we don't know what's going on. So that's my mantra these days. Look for kindness and be kind, especially to yourself. This is one of my favorite lunch break havens back when I was working. It was amazing to have feeling memories come back to me while I was walking around here. 13 or 14 years later. The evening that I discovered the carnival, it was right at sunset, and I decided to take off and go for a walk in the neighborhood nearby, and discovered this commons area in the middle of an ocean of various apartment and townhouse complexes. So I came back earlier in the day to soak in this vibe. I'm so glad I just followed my nose and went down that trail. to see what was there. You got to do that when you're a nomad. And guess what? I'm sitting in the shade. Being an urban nomad is a skill set all its own, and I'm glad to have had this opportunity to practice it so quickly on the heels of the BLM desert nomad experience. Whether you're still in sticks and bricks or you're a full-timer on the road, take advantage of spring and summer. Get out there and practice. Get out there and do it.